Sometimes, a quiet walk on the beach can change everything. Today, discover how one mysterious bottle leads a young boy into an unforgettable adventure. Backhand index pointing right before we begin. Don't forget to subscribe for more simple and exciting English stories every day. Today's story is about a secret message in a bottle. It was early morning in the peaceful coastal town of Clearwater Bay. The sun was rising slowly, and soft pink and orange colors stretched across the sky. The ocean looked calm. Small waves moved gently, making a quiet sound as they touched the sand. The air smelled fresh and salty, and the wind blew lightly. Every morning, 12-year-old Liam walked along the beach. He liked the sea more than anything else. He enjoyed the sound of the waves, the sea birds flying above him, and the feeling of sand under his feet. Sometimes, he even found small treasures from the ocean, shells, stones, or pieces of sea glass. But today, something different was waiting for him. As Liam walked near the water, he saw something shiny lying on the sand. At first, he thought it was just a bottle cap or a piece of plastic. But when he got closer, he realized it was something much more special. It was a glass bottle, long and clear, with a piece of paper rolled inside. Liam stopped. His heart beat faster. "A message in a bottle?" he whispered. He picked up the bottle carefully. It looked old. The surface was scratched, and seaweed hung around the neck. The cap was made of metal and looked rusty. Liam could almost imagine the bottle traveling across the ocean for days, months, or even years. He sat down on the sand, placed the bottle on his lap, and tried to open it. The cap was stuck. Liam tried again and again. Finally, the cap opened with a soft pop. He shook the bottle gently until the paper slid out into his hand. The paper felt a little wet and very old. The writing on it was messy but still readable. At the top of the paper, one sentence caught his eye. It said, "If you find this message, follow the clues and discover the truth." Liam's eyes grew wide. "What truth?" he said softly. Below the sentence, there was a simple drawing of a lighthouse. Liam recognized it immediately. It was the old lighthouse on the north side of the bay. No one used it anymore, but people still visited it sometimes. Liam stood up and looked toward the lighthouse in the distance. The wind blew gently, almost like it was telling him to go. He took a deep breath. "I have to see what this means," he said. And so, the adventure began. Liam walked along the sand, heading toward the lighthouse. The walk took about 15 minutes. As he moved, he heard the quiet sound of waves, smelled the sea breeze, and saw boats floating gently on the water. When he reached the lighthouse, he examined everything carefully. The lighthouse was tall and white, with old red stripes that had faded with time. Liam looked around the rocks, the stairs, and the door, but he didn't see anything unusual. Then he noticed that the door to the lighthouse tower was slightly open. He pushed it and stepped inside. The air was cool and smelled like old wood. The stairs spiraled upward, and the sound of his footsteps echoed. At the top, sunlight entered through the windows. On the floor, he saw a small object, a pink shell with a little arrow drawn on it. The arrow pointed toward the window. Liam looked through the window and saw something red on the sand far below. It looked like a red ribbon. "Maybe that's the next clue," he said. He quickly climbed down the stairs and ran toward the beach. The red ribbon was tied around a small wooden box. Liam kneeled and touched it. The box looked old, like it had been touched by the ocean for a long time. He opened it slowly. Inside, he found 3 things: a tiny compass, a small key, a piece of paper. The compass pointed west. The paper had only one simple sentence: "Go where the sea sings the loudest." Liam smiled. He knew exactly where that was: the singing cliffs on the west side of Clearwater Bay. There, the waves crashed hard against the rocks, making a powerful sound that locals called the sea singing. He put the compass and key in his pocket and started walking. The path to the cliffs was rocky. Liam climbed over stones, crossed little water pools, and listened as the sound of the waves grew louder and louder. When he finally reached the cliffs, he stopped and looked around. At first, he didn't see anything. Then he heard a small tapping sound behind him. He turned around and saw a piece of driftwood on the ground. Something was carved into it. "Right arrow, look under the stone." But there were many stones around. Liam looked carefully. Then he noticed one stone that was different. It had a symbol on it, a small circle with a cross inside. He lifted the stone. Under it, he found a small metal container. Liam opened it and found another message inside. The message said, Go to the oldest boat in the harbor. Use the key. Liam felt a chill of excitement. The oldest boat in the harbor was called the Mariner. Everyone knew it. It was old, beautiful, and no longer used for fishing. Liam started running. The harbor was busy with life. Fishermen were cleaning nets, tourists were taking pictures, and children were playing around. But Liam ignored all of that. He rushed toward the Mariner. He climbed onto the deck and saw a small door. It was locked. Liam took the key from his pocket, pushed it into the lock, and turned it. Click! The door opened. Inside the boat, it was quiet. The room smelled like wood and rope. On a small table, there was a leather notebook. It looked very old. Liam opened the notebook. The pages were yellow and soft. He flipped through them until he found a page marked with a ribbon. The page had a name. Captain Elias Rowan. Liam felt a shock. His grandfather had told him stories about Captain Rowan, a kind sailor who disappeared long ago. Liam read the message on the page. If you find this notebook, then you have followed my clues. I left this message for someone brave enough to discover my story. Inside this notebook lies the truth of my last journey. Liam continued reading. Captain Rowan wrote about a long sea journey. He described storms, dolphins jumping beside his boat, nights full of stars, and islands with bright green trees. But near the end of the notebook, the writing changed. It became faster, almost rushed. I found something precious, something too important to lose. If anything happens to me, I trust the finder of this notebook to protect it. But he didn't explain what the precious thing was. On the last page, Liam found a drawing, a map of Clearwater Bay. A small X marked a place behind the lighthouse. Liam closed the notebook. One last clue, he said. He ran out of the boat and headed toward the lighthouse once again. Liam followed the map until he reached an area behind the lighthouse. There was sand, shells, and a few rocks. He looked around, searching for something unusual. Then he saw a wooden board half buried in the sand. He lifted it. Under the board was a small wooden chest. Liam opened it slowly. Inside, he found a photograph of Captain Rowan smiling, a silver necklace with a blue stone, and a letter. Liam unfolded the letter and read, "To the one who followed my clues. This treasure is not gold. It is a reminder that adventure, courage, and curiosity are the true riches of life. Share this story. Keep the magic alive." Liam held the necklace. The blue stone shone like the sea on a sunny morning. He smiled. He hadn't found gold or jewels. He had found something better, an adventure, a story, a mystery that connected him to the ocean and to a sailor from the past. He looked at the waves and whispered, "Thank you, Captain Rowan." And for the rest of the day, the ocean felt different, friendlier, magical, full of secrets waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this simple and exciting English story, make sure to subscribe now. I post new A1, A2 stories every week to help you learn English in a fun and relaxing way.